Well, welcome back. Today I have a great show for you today. We are talking about the best Christian book for children. Okay. All right. So these are the best books that I have read. I buy tons of them. As you know, I get tons of them from the library. And I'll start right off with the best of the best books. So that just so that you don't have to wait to the end to see the best of the best. The best of the best. This book, 3 Trees, one of the best. This is good for all ages. Like a lot of these books, just because you're reading them to your littles, I hate that term, but kids under 10, you could still reach them, kids older than that. I mean, you still learn something from this. So this is just a traditional folklore. Look at the pictures of it. I don't want to spoil the story, but so good. I will give you a little rundown. It's about 3 trees and how they want to have a really important job in life. They have all these big plans and aspirations, and one wants to hold treasure, wants to be a treasure chest, to hold treasure. And wouldn't you know it, holds the best treasure of all in the end. So it gets cut down, gets milled, is very disappointed because it's not living its dream. And yet eventually it holds the greatest treasure of all. So they are called Tales That Tell the Truth. So look at these books up there. I'll try to put them on the screen. They are Tales That Tell the Truth. The best way to get the list is to search that and then get a list, and you can get them at the library. And what it is, so Jesus and the Lion's Den. So they're very interesting stories. Let me show you another one here. So I've gotten them from the library, but I want to buy them all. The 1 o'clock Miracle. Again, if your specific branch doesn't have it, you can usually do inter-province or interstate loan. They usually have that. Just ask them about it. A true story about trusting the words of Jesus. So they are picture books featuring true stories. And at the end, it usually has a page that tells you why you should believe this story, or where this story came from, which part of the Bible it's from, and things like that, right there. So anyway, this is the 1 o'clock Miracle. They're all great. Like the ones I've gotten so far, because I just get a few at a time from the library, because I want to say there's about 10 in the series. This one is good. This one I could not find at the library. This is David and Goliath. I like this version. This is by Akrem Zaki. I got it on Amazon. It's $10, a little overpriced for what it is, but it's a good story. Okay, next up we have, this is great. We are working our way through this right now. This is my first catechism, but take a look at it. So, Who Made You? God. And this was $3. This was $3 on the Christian Books? You know what I'm talking about. I'm sure you've been there. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, what did God make? God made all things. Now, I do a version of these that's not necessarily Catholic. So I do a version of these in my binder that I print off that we go through like once a week or so in memory work, and it's just a page of the ones that maybe this year I want to memorize or whatever. But it essentially says, who made you? God. What else did God make? God made all things, stuff like that. But anyway, that's all it is pages of where do we learn? We learn about God from the Bible, things like that. Yeah. So my first catechism. Next up, another Catholic friendly one is Jesus and Mary. So I haven't read the last, because there's also the story of Fatima, which I didn't find that interesting, but truthfully I haven't really finished reading it. So maybe it's really interesting, and I've tried a couple versions of the saint stories, and some are okay and some are not that interesting. But this one is a story, it's from Mary's perspective, and at the end it really talks about the Hail Mary, and yeah, so I just like it. It's Mary's perspective. It's very interesting. We use some Catholic things, mostly Christian things. So when I read some things, I got to make sure that it's not offensive to either, if you ask me. But anyway, yeah, this is told from Mary's perspective. And it doesn't go into what a virgin is, per se, so you don't have to worry about that if you're not up for discussing that yet. But Jesus and Mary, this is on Amazon. This is a great book. Got it from Christian Books quite a couple years ago, but it is a board book about Noah's Ark. So Noah's Ark for Kids with the number 4 by Becky Dudley. And just kind of cool because it shows it's like for your youngest. It's just an interesting book because it shows what exactly is in there. And it's hard. Shows exactly what is going on in the ark. So very cool. Now we have 2 books I haven't read, so maybe I'll read them today because I haven't read them yet. And this is Will You Bless Me? So an innocent sneeze from young Anna and her father's casual bless you response lead to a memorable discovery about true blessing. On the way to their discovery, father and daughter read a story about the boyhood life of Jesus as he joyfully experiences a blessing while asking his mother to tell the story of his birth. So I haven't read this yet. So we'll see. Again, sometimes if they're touted as Catholic books, sometimes I'm disappointed in them. Because I've spent quite a few amounts of money on Catholic books that and I'm just disappointed in them. They just aren't as interesting to me as some of the other Christian books. So I haven't read these yet. So we will see. Yeah, and then this one is the second one. Can God See Me in the Dark? So I should read those today to check it out, but I just wanted to include them because maybe you have read them. Again, when they get a bit older, the Power Bible, it's just not my favorite Bible, but my son really loves it. So it's like a graphic novel. I don't care for it too much. I mean, it's a little, it's just not my favorite, but young kids, I don't know about girls, I have no idea, but young boys seem to really like reading it, that I've noticed, because that was a common review online, and I got my favorite Bible so far. I have started a new Bible. This is my favorite Bible. I wasn't at first, I don't know which way's the front. This is the Biggest Story Bible storybook by DeYoung Clark. It's basically if a father who's like a pastor interpreting the Bible in stories and explaining them to kids. So it's very, I mean, it's great. It's a great Bible. But we are starting, no, we're not starting this one. Which one are we starting? So I've gone through a few. So I started reading this one. This one, you can get it for $100. Unless if you're lucky and you search enough, you can find a softcover version, which is what I bought for $26. It is Catholic friendly because it is the like an Orthodox version. It's the Greek Orthodox version. I started reading it, and what I didn't like is how in like the first couple pages during the first story about Adam and Eve, how Eve is punished and now she has to experience, and now all women are to experience pain in childbirth. It's just not something that I felt comfortable like at their ages discussing and stuff like that. So I stopped reading it, but that doesn't mean it's not a good book. So, I mean, it's very popular. People pay over $100 for it. So the pictures are nice. There is that, but again, I didn't like it, so I switched to, we happen to have the Illustrated Children's Bible. Yeah, it's pretty. It's got pretty pictures. So we started that one this morning. I just read a ton of Bibles. We just go through them. There's a couple books. Oh yeah, there's a couple books I wanted to show you from the library that you might find interesting. This is The World Jesus Knew. I would show you the front, but I got it from the library, so that is covered. But it's The World Jesus Knew, and so it's interesting. Let me show you inside here, because it is a curious kid's guide to life in the first century. So it's got about working life there, the Sea of Galilee, where things were located, what money they used back then, what crops they grew, who was the leader then, how leadership worked then, like who was in like government, how government worked back then. So I wouldn't say that this is Catholic friendly. I don't know. I haven't found anything offensive in it, but I mean, wasn't recommended from like a Catholic society or anything. Crime and Punishment, The Anatomy of a Roman Road. So it's just, yeah. So it's The World Jesus Knew. I got it from the library. I wouldn't buy it, but it's kind of interesting. This is another one. This is the God's Big Picture Bible Storybook. I'm excited to try this one. So let me just show you inside. So it's got, again, more beautiful pictures. Beautiful pictures inside. So I haven't started it yet, but I'm looking forward. I'm kind of looking forward to starting it. I don't know. I love reading books. But these are, oh wait, oh my gosh, I didn't show you these. These are missionary stories. These are great. So while Catholics have saint stories, Christians seem to have missionary stories. And these ones are great. They're very good. So they're numbered. I don't have them all. I got them off thrift books because you can't get them at the library. They're the Little Light series is what they are. So let me show you inside one. Let's do, oh yeah, this is a good one. This is the true story of Amy Carmichael and her looking glass. So when Amy's young, she looks into the mirror and says, God, because her mom told her that God can grant wishes. God, I want blue eyes. I'm tired of my brown eyes. I want blue eyes. Why do I have brown eyes? So then she grows up to realize that, so she starts working over in India and she starts rescuing babies that are going to be killed. And she realizes that when the babies, when she holds them, they look up into her brown eyes and they see, it's like familiar to them. And so that's why God gave her brown eyes. So we have a lot of different stories there. We have the story of Martin Luther and the Reformation. We have the story of Helen Roseveare and the hot water bottle, which is a very interesting story too, about how she needed a hot water bottle to keep this baby alive. And then she receives a gift that, because once a year people send gifts over from the United States over to where she was, something like that. And then she opens it and oh, there it is. David Livingstone, that did not end well. Carrie Ten Boom and the Dutch Watch Shop, the story of Hudson Taylor and the bowl of soup, Lottie Moon and the Christmas offering. Did I not read this? I don't know if I read that yet. I'm going to put it in my to-read pile. And Does Money Grow on Trees? So quite a few of them, very interesting. All right, well, leave your questions down in the comments, and I'll be happy to answer them. Remember that I have a child who has autism, and I have a child who has ADHD. Now, my son who has autism also has a lot of different things. Dyspraxia, apraxia of speech, dysgraphia, a lot of different things. And my other son, and PDA, and my other son had what my husband had when he was young, which was ADHD and ODD. But I'm telling you, my kids, they're really thriving. So if you have any questions or you're feeling lost, just leave them in the comments, and I usually film a video on it and answer your questions if you have any questions. Yeah. Okay. Well, I hope you have a great day. Can you say, please like and subscribe?
Please like to like.
And hit the bell for notifications.
Hit the bell for notifications.